If you wanna be my friend,
Ooh, breathy.
you would better go and get a pen.
Very 90s like song.
Maybe we could keep in touch like they did in the old days. It wasn't so long ago. Oh,
I don't. That, I don't like it. I don't like it either. I got out. I'm getting out of the boat. I gotta get out.
Daniel, we're 10 miles offshore.
Oh, I gotta get out. Do you ever wonder how long you could tread water?
I have wondered. Like, dude, the story about the dude falling off the cruise ship and then getting found like 24 hours later floating.
How long do you think you could go?
Here's the thing. In a pool when we're having fun, I probably hardly at all. My life depends on it. I maybe find reserves of strength and inspiration I didn't know
Because
existed.
you get to points where you go, I'm just floating for a while.
Yeah.
I just need to keep myself above. So stupid. What I'm about to say, and I'm talking straight into your ear camera when I say this.
Your ear cameras. Close your eyes.
Is so dumb.
Everybody close your eyes.
Yes.
And listen
even
to
if you're
Daniel's
driving.
confession. He's making a confession statement. Go ahead.
3 days.
You think you could tread water for 3 days?
Uh-huh.
Everybody open your eyes, and whatever you're doing, swerve the wheel right into the first car you see.
I said it was stupid, but you...
3 days.
3 days? Here's another thing.
Do you know how hard it is to tread water?
Here's another thing.
So you skip this fucking question. You think you could tread water for 3 days?
Scale of 1.
In the ocean.
Scale of 1 to 10.
What do? Just sink? I guess you just end up sinking.
You go, a lot of times you go delirious.
And then you just sink and you die.
Yeah, the guys from the USS Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They thought it was all shark attacks.
Yeah.
Until they somebody really dug into it.
Yeah.
A lot of it was people thought they saw land and they just never came back.
Yeah.
And then other people who just said, I'm going to go. And they would slip out of their life jacket and you just watch them go. Yeah. Yeah.
So 3 days?
3 days. I don't know. I mean, I think I could survive. I don't think I could tread water for 3 days, but
No, okay. If you're
on and
trying
off,
to just
on and off for 3 days. I think I could. Here's the
you
question
can't
too.
on and off treading water.
Yeah, you got to float.
That's treading water. That's part
No,
of it.
no. Just
That's a
floating
part
is
of
not
it.
treading water. Treading water is this.
But you think you're going to be able to just float?
Look with your ears.
You
Huh?
think you're just going to float?
There's times you'll have to float. Yeah. Do I have a? If you do not,
I don't think on and off for 3 days. You think you could stay alive? And we're talking about the ocean.
Yeah. I mean,
Daniel.
no storms. Is there a storm? That's why I said it was stupid.
This is the most optimistic thing I've ever heard. 3 days.
That's what I was trying to ask you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you in the water?
In the ocean?
Here's
something. And you can speak to
You know
this
I
because
love
you're
us?
a
we
big
were
lake
nowhere
guy.
near this type of conversation before this started.
Oh, I know.
There wasn't a world. You could have been like, Dan, $100, guess the topic. And I wouldn't have even got near water, I don't think. Of like
Yeah.
what we would start talking about when the show started.
Wait, what are you talking about?
This that we're here talking about this.
Oh, you think
I'm not
you're
trying to be
just
inside
pointing out that it's
baseball.
crazy.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because you're a lake guy, you could speak to this. Growing up on a lake,
Yeah.
I get so freaked out by ocean depth and lake
bother me at all.
depth because I just feel so exposed, and all I can picture is the Jaws poster cover,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm about to be eaten alive. And I
Very
hope it's
rarely.
one solid bite and I die so fast.
Very rarely does any fish have any interest in you, and that goes for sharks too.
Yeah.
There is a time where someone has caught the right moment where you're there, a shark is there, the shark is also hungry. I'm going to investigate this.
And you've
Most
got a
people don't
hangnail
die
with a
from
little bit of blood.
True. Most people don't die from shark attacks because they're investigating what you are. They bite you, release, and go.
Yeah.
So that's why there's almost very little deaths. And people go, I saw these helicopter footages. All these people are swimming around sharks. They don't even know. And I'm like, yeah, all the time.
Right.
Do you know how close it's not dangerous unless, it's rutting season. But it's not dangerous. But, like, you know how often you're near a deer and you didn't know it either? Like,
Right.
So, in the ocean. So,
Ocean deer.
your answer on comfortability in water?
I guess that's what a dolphin is, right?
Kind of. That's
Ocean
right.
deer.
Save that.
For what? This is the show.
I don't know. Whenever we say something really, like, unique, I want us to say it on stage.
Ocean deer.
Yeah, dolphin,
Dolphins.
the ocean deer. Way smarter though. Okay.
I think it's because you have the same reaction. You go, oh, look at this deer.
Yeah.
Oh, that dolphin.
Yeah. Would you fucking answer me?
I thought you were about to say, would you fuck a dolphin? I was about to go, here's where I have to finally tell the truth.
That's a whole. That took me to a whole other thing.
That's a whole other
you.
episode. That's more Patreon.
Yeah, that's post.
You
100.
gotta pay for that kind
That's
of
post
stuff.
100. That's post 100.
You gotta pay for that.
Yeah.
All right, wait, what was the question?
How comfortable are you in water? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being I'm not even getting in.
well,
10, Rory, it's been all day.
I get in the water. Yeah, I'm a water guy.
Very comfortable though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be in dark water. It kind of freaks me out.
Okay, so I'd probably put you at like a 7 to 8, maybe 8.5, just because
Okay.
that's a little sliver there at the top.
Okay.
But swimming, how strong of a swimmer are you?
I'm decent.
Yeah?
I'm average.
Would you swim across the lake with me? We get there. It wasn't
Yeah.
super hot when we were there.
I could have
but
done it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
That lake gets to I think about 47 feet deep.
Yeah.
You
It would freak me out right in the middle where I can't see anymore.
oh, it's so
That water was
wonderful.
pretty clear on the side, but you get depth and then it's
Dude, sometimes I'll go out there and I'll just go, how far down can I go? And you just
that
feel
freaks
yourself
me the
just
fuck
going
out.
and going and
That
going.
freaks me out.
And then the coming up is this is another thing I was going to ask you, and then I promise we'll go. We've already done too much time. Do you think if you're going to survive?
Yeah.
Okay, but there is going to be some trauma.
Okay.
But if you spent 3 days, even two days, which is insane,
Yeah.
which is why I said it was stupid when I said 3, 2 days in the ocean, in the water, floating, treading, right? In addition to the trauma, do you think you would have moments of just seeing the most beautiful, like it would almost be magic, like majestic, like
I think
like that you would go, I am in the earth, right? That I am a
Revelations.
vessel just moving by this current
100%.
and
I
the
think
stars
you would have
and
those
maybe
moments.
the scene in Castaway with the whale
Yes.
and you just I wonder if you would have like people would go, are you okay? And yes, you would need therapy and go through the trauma, but I wonder if in your therapy you would have moments where you're like, I saw some of the most beautiful
things. Yeah.
and I think
I think you would have that, but I also think there's an element of like when you're dying, like when a shark does bite you, you know that your brain releases like that DMT that's naturally
100%.
built into our
Yes.
fucking body.
Yeah.
And so
you don't
you're
even
like,
feel it.
oh, I got bit, and then immediately was blissed out because
True.
our brains know how
Yeah.
to protect us.
Yeah.
I bet there's elements of that where it's like,
Just
oh,
the
I'm having
stars
an
and
absolute
wildlife.
crazy hallucination, or I'm having this moment of like, I wouldn't be surprised if our brains, I think, in their natural element of how they are meant to function, not that they always do, but I think they are meant to protect us at all times. It's why I think we have to actually go to therapy, is because our brains are like, that was traumatic. I'm going to try to make you forget it. And what I don't really realize as your brain is that in the future, you'll have a tick and you won't be able to place it because I was trying to protect you as opposed to working through. I think that's what therapy is. And I think it is because a choice, not our own, is our brain trying to keep us safe and protected. So I think you would have all those things. And I think you'd have those blissed out moments because who knows? I mean, for example, in Castaway, when there's a whale right there, you're like, well, this is just a natural occurrence that I'm like witness to.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting there like, I saw the sky blend into the ocean and God told me my job was to be a pastor and start a church.
Sure.
I think those moments are your brain going, here, have this dose of, and I don't want to say that it isn't genuine inspiration. And I don't want to say that the universe didn't tell you to do a thing. But I think there is a world where your brain also tries to keep you moving and keeps you going. It doesn't want you to just stop. It's like, you're going to get to the other side of this. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to explain. But
and I think I've
to your
heard...
point, I think you're right. I think those moments happen. I think some of them are natural, and I think some of them are the brain protecting you. So you go, I saw the sky turn bright orange, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You're like, well, that didn't really happen, but your brain was trying to. Like,
I think there's accounts of like soldiers who survived Vietnam being like, there were moments where we were in the most beautiful place, like terrain and land that you've ever seen in your life. And
Yeah.
then it would turn to a nightmare in a second.
Right.
And then we'll go. But I just want to acknowledge how great of a point you just made. A friend of mine, it's documented. He was on my podcast I used to do, Hindsight, which I never officially ended. That's another thing. But he survived the shooting in Vegas.
Yes.
And he was having a really hard time, like afterwards, regulating. Love Paul Lopez. And I told him what you said, and I think that's so key for people, is I go, your mind was in one place, and then the pendulum had to swing all the way into, holy shit, save your fucking life, right?
Yes.
And it skipped everything. You think about football players, they sit around, or any sort of athlete, they mentally prepare for a game they know they're going to play and what's at stake and what needs to happen, and they still take a lot of time to get mentally into the place to play. I go, you went from like 0 to game time using
0
sadly.
to third down into the fourth quarter.
Yes, and I go, so what happened is now you've made it through the worst game most Americans should never have to play and seem to about every day.
Yeah.
You made it through that, and now your brain is slowly trying to go back to where it was. And so when I make you laugh, you start crying.
Yeah.
Because you can't. It skipped so many gears.
Yeah,
it went from idle to 6th gear.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of go back through those gears. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
go to the
You know what I thought of when you were making a great point, but I was still listening? I wonder if sometimes the first part of the episode is our letter that's like what we just talked about.
Yeah.
So like someone's writing us about their stuff and then we respond.
Yeah.
That was us writing about our stuff, and maybe someone goes, hey, I was lost at sea. What are you doing?
I just realized I've never done that. That's the Patreon.
That's a video part right there.
Folks.
Is it me? Is it me?
It's going to be you.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Good. I realized I screwed up something later. I screwed up something before we started. You guys don't need to worry about it because it doesn't even matter.
But you need to know that real problems exist. We seem perfect. Yes, we have someone dress us for these clothes. A
100%.
professional
I
stylist.
love the mustard. Would you call that mustard or gold?
These are gold mustard. Yes, we had hairstylists come in and do both our hair, and then we put hats on anyway.
What do you call this?
A toque.
Really?
It is a toque, right?
Oh,
It's
toque?
Canadian.
People are trying to get me to stop saying stocking cap. They want to call it a beanie.
Toque. Go with toque.
A toque?
Have you never heard that?
Never in my life.
Chad?
He's hip. Yeah. Couldn't be farther off mic.
You can't tell.
You can't
tell because he's off camera. Chad's smoking 2
stuff
cigarettes.
Like that. The reason I say it, Liz is not here.
Just one hand, though.
Here we go. Toque, huh?
Chad, that's too many.
Toque feels gross. T-U-K?
I actually don't know.
T-O-O-K?
It is toque.
T-U-K-E?
It is toque.
T-U-C.
That's what that hat is called.
If you tell Canadian?
Go ahead.
Wait.
And now go.
Wait, this should be Lieutenant.
Then you would never call the police. You go, you know what?
You know what? I'll give you the person who can't watch. When I said this, it was us touching fingers.
All right, here we go.
Okay, toque. Oh, I was gonna say Canadian. I bet it's T-U-C. It feels French.
Yeah, you're right.
I could be way off. Hey guys, longtime Dan fan.
Barf!
It's Daniel. Quickly becoming a Rory fan. It's Rory.
Yeah!
You're both great.
Okay.
Let's dive in. I'm a 35-year-old. What if we were like we're all of a sudden the bro?
But we're 42.
I know.
7 years younger.
I'm a 35-year-old. That reminds me of somebody I want to stay on the podcast. I'm a 35-year-old woman, and I have never had sex, had a boyfriend, went on a date, or even had a real kiss. I am deeply embarrassed by this. I've lied my way through high school and college and even to doctors whenever this topic came up. I swear this is real.
Interesting.
There are a panoply of factors.
I've never heard that word.
I just went with it.
You're right.
There is a panoply of factors that have fed this ordeal. Situational issues in childhood that I struggle to overcome, self-inflicted worries exacerbated by my own negative talk, untreated severe anxiety and depression, lying to fit in with high school and college friends to avoid feeling ostracized, and a lifetime of hang-ups about my weight and appearance. I've added a list of explainers at the end to keep this letter short. Feel free to skip them or read if you're curious. I've been steadily working on myself for years to remedy these issues and finally find someone. I'm curious about online dating, which feels like the lowest barrier of entry at this point. One of my concerns is how to talk about my non-existent dating past or admit I have no sexual experience. It feels like a major red flag that would scare people away. As men, how do you react to meeting or dating a woman who is as inexperienced as I am? And what advice would you give me as a full-grown adult just now entering the dating world? Thanks for reading, Kay. Bing, bong, bing, bong,
Bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bing, bang.
You goddamn
felt right.
washing machine.
Yeah.
Rory.
The dryer's ready.
Rory, a lot of
Panoply.
$3 words in there, and I was pretty proud of myself.
You did a great job.
Exacerbated, ostracized, Panoply.
That's the only one I've never heard. Panoply.
Yeah, I've heard them. I just had to.
I've played
roll through 'em.
Panoply.
Is it fun?
No.
It takes too long. By the end, people are mad. And there's only one person who takes it way too serious.
Panoply effect.
You landed on that issue, so you have to pay me. Okay. Where do you want to go, Rory?
We could start with the basic question, and the basic question that it ends with. As men, how would you react to meeting or dating a woman who is as experienced as I am? I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself when I say I don't know how to earnestly answer that question, given the fact that I've never come across that situation. I haven't come across someone who at least voiced their inexperience,
Right.
if it existed. So I don't know how I would respond. I'm trying to, in my head, like now at 42, married with a child, I'm a different person who would clearly react so differently. The honest younger self, I couldn't tell you how I would respond. I don't know.
Well, that indicates to me that you wouldn't care. Don't you feel like if you were a person who was like, you tell me you're a virgin and we're over 25, I am out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you were that person, don't you think you would know that about yourself?
My honest reaction in both ages, and let's just say like 22. Okay. 22 and 42. Honest reaction in both instances, I don't know that there's any world where I would find that to be a turnoff or unattractive.
Right.
I think what I would find difficult would be that if we were going to have sexual exploration, and I'm talking in the most cookie cutter version of it. I don't mean like trying wild sexual things you might be interested in. I mean like kissing, hooking up, having sex, like and just like, we're doing the basics type stuff.
And no, this isn't. I'm not saying this flippantly.
Yeah.
We're at zero here.
We're at zero. I think if in that process there was a lot of apprehension or constant apprehension, I think that would be difficult for me. Yes. I would want someone who it's also getting to a place of comfort.
But I think you're similar to me. I am way into how much the person's into it.
Yes.
And so I think that, and this is not said in a negative sense because you haven't done it, so you can't, it's hard to have the ability. That inability for you to know this is going to feel great, I really want you to do this, that it might play into that area.
Yes. Yeah.
Which should be expected.
It's difficult. I think you don't have an easy road ahead of you. I mean,
or maybe you do.
I lied about my virginity.
You did
in college. To this day, I still have never.
You told me this, but I'm genuinely shocked every time.
It's a part of my act.
Maybe that's.
I lied in the way that it feels almost like I'm going to keep saying cookie cutter, but
you lied freshman year.
Well, yes, yeah. Well,
sophomore year you were lying.
Well, I lost my virginity at 20, so I think I was a sophomore, or was I a freshman? What was I?
You graduated when you were 18.
I think I was a I think it was. Yeah, I was a sophomore. I think I maybe had.
Did you lie to her?
I think it was maybe between my sophomore and junior year.
Brag. Did you lie to her?
Yeah, I was like,
would that be your advice for this?
To lie?
To just have your sex and don't tell the other person this is your first time.
I think you can go that road. I don't think you're beholden to maybe have to say it. I personally assume, without experience in this scenario, think that being upfront and very honest maybe makes this easier. Does that make sense? I think if you are with someone, let's say you've gone on dates. Let's say you're at that point now. She's done I don't know who it.
Okay.
I don't know who we're we're
You go
with-
he, I'll go she.
I'm gonna go they.
It says woman, so
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah.
She in this particular situation, I think saying, "Oh, I'm going to try online dating." That seems like a great entry point. I think you're right. I think that is a great entry point. So let's say you have done that, and let's say you've gone on a couple.
So much to say about this.
I love it. Let's say you've gone on a couple dates, and you are now maybe at a point where it does feel right that maybe at the end of this one you're probably going to kiss or hook up or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what like things are like anymore.
Right.
But let's say that you've gotten over the actually going on a date, so you have.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where you've now gone out 3 times. And now you're at a point where you're like, you're feeling so tense and nervous and scared because you think you might kiss someone and you haven't done that. And you're concerned of the judgment or how it's going to go or if you'll do it right. All the things of that curiosity, I believe that if the other person knows that you're having this anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to believe, especially, and I'm saying this to a 35-year-old woman, potentially, dating someone roughly in that area of age.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to believe that that person that you have now gone on a couple dates with is fully open and understanding and mature enough to maybe be surprised by that information. I think I might be surprised by it, but to handle it with grace and to go like, oh, I totally understand it. So if we do go to kiss tonight, and I was like, oh, that was strange. I have the information to know
You've never
this
kissed
is day
anybody.
one.
Right.
Why should you be graded at day one? I don't know that I kissed right the first time I kissed a girl. I just did what I've seen in movies and TV shows.
Or
I don't
you,
know if
like,
I did it right.
Follow the other person's lead, and then the next person you kiss, they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and you're like, I
"Well,
don't know,
the
whatever
last
that person
kissed-"
does. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so much of that is a part of the exploration that it's so easy for me to sit here and say, just be upfront and honest about it and don't be embarrassed by it. But I do think my own take, and you've maybe got a similar one or a different one, but I think in a broad stroke,
Sure.
I think being honest about it will make you feel better about it. Because I think trying to hide it and tiptoe and get to these moments with an expectation and a bar and trying to be someone in that moment that you're not, which is a person who's experienced these things before, I think it makes it harder for you. It's like you're having to play a role, whereas the person who you actually are is the person who doesn't have experience in these moments. And to say that is offering an honest take of who this other person is getting to date.
Mm-hmm.
If you and I are on a date and I say that to you and you don't like it, we're both just being honest with each other. I'm saying, look, I don't have experience and I'm nervous about it. And you could go, oh, I don't like that. Now, sure, that might make you, in this instance, somewhat villainous, but you're also just being honest that you don't like that,
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to handle it with grace. Those are all very real
I'll
possibilities.
be honest with you.
But
Rob.
I think being upfront about it.
If we were on a date and you were like, hey, just so you know, I've never really done anything. I'd be like, oh, you never had sex? And that would strike me as a little like, really? And you'd be like, no, I've never kid. I've never even done any hand stuff. I've never
anything at all.
I think I'm pretty sexual. You are sexual.
Yeah.
And I think I would say I don't know if I'm the right person for you to do that stuff with.
Yeah, and I think that's fine.
And that's healthy, right?
I
just hate being the bad guy.
But here's the thing, it doesn't make you a bad guy. I don't think.
I know that's my emotional problem.
Sure, yeah.
But I think what I would like to ask, and I would hope that if you're in therapy or you talk to somebody, they would ask, and I think this is the very first question. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Are you curious?
What do you
want to try these things?
And if you're like, I want to be in a committed relationship with someone and we kiss and we eventually work up to all the fun things we want to do, I would be like, okay.
Yeah.
Then here's kind of the road you need to go for that. You need to put that on your dating profile, be like completely inexperienced sexually, but looking for the right person to go on this journey with me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Somebody who's caring.
I'm
saying as a possibility.
One red flag. There's something about people deciding to manipulate you, knowing and going, oh, I can kind of control this person's expectations. Now,
That's
you have to
true,
watch
too.
out for that
That's a
because
good point.
those are villains.
Somebody's like blank
those
slo-
people do
blank
exist.
slate.
That's what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
you say, am I a bad guy because I said I'm just not into that? No, you're just being honest. And maybe it comes across as like, oh, I'm shitty because I'm rejecting you in a way. Which is worse? The person who goes, oh, you don't know what you're doing?
So
Great.
everything I tell you is what you think is going to
Is
be
what
the
you
norm,
think it is?
and you
Great.
have to do.
That
Yeah,
that
that's
is a
gross.
villain. That is a
Yeah.
monster. That is a bad
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're being upfront about what you are
But
into, yes, it sometimes
Yeah,
it
maybe you just
affects
say,
us
look,
personally, but it doesn't make someone. You have to break
looking
up
to
with
take it really slow.
We've
Maybe
all-
that's what you say. Like, hey, looking to take it
Yeah.
really slow.
Yes.
Looking for the right person to take
Yes.
it really slow with. If you're down for that, let me know. Right?
Like
And
when you have to break up with someone,
right.
you go, I feel bad. Of course, because because you're so good that you care about the other person's feelings. But you go, yeah, but I'm rejecting them. But it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just what it is.
Right.
And it sucks. I'm not saying it's
Now
fun.
let me ask you this though.
But,
Let's
yeah.
say I put that out there and I said, looking to take it super slow. This is a little bit more about me. If you're interested, let's get together. Right.
I think that's a
and
great
you and I
route.
go out to dinner and you're like, super slow, huh? I saw your thing. Be like, yeah. I just don't want things to go really, really fast. I just want it to like naturally happen as they feel right, rather than like do them and be like, did that feel right? I want it to
Rather
feel
than
right
going,
as
it's the
happen.
third day, we're supposed to kiss by now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you go, cool, right? And then let's say, end of first date, even you kiss me.
Yeah.
I don't think I tell you, me, because I go, it was just a kiss. To millions and millions and millions of other people, that was just a goodnight kiss. And then I think I would go, not say anything. And then I think the next time that we were kind of like kissing like a little bit heavier or whatever, I would maybe say something like, hey, you tell me like, you know, what you like or whatever. I just want to make sure we're both having a good time. And I don't do it in a way where, like you said, where they're like, well, I want you to, like, it's more of like,
Yeah.
And then I think same, if I'm vulgar alert, if you're with your grandparents, also thanks to them for growing the show to you.
Yeah. Make sure they join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. It's not a
easy.
big deal.
I think even with like, if I'm given a hand job or finger stuff,
Ooh, just lost those grandparents' Patreon.
I would go, or gained.
Or gained.
I would go, tell me what you like. Like, tell me to make sure, you know. And then I think after that stuff, I'd be like, I would go, hey, I want you to know something. Oh, we've had a couple good times together. I am a virgin. And they're like, whoa, you know. You'd be like, yeah, I've never had sex. In fact, like, I didn't want it to be weird because I don't care. But, like, a lot of the stuff we've done has been, like, my first thing.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying this.
But
So I think that's me. That's
Can
why
I-
we're not professionals or the
Okay,
same person.
Well, I want to jump in here. And I appreciate that. I think
Because it
while
is just a kiss.
right, but while I don't know that fully that route fully applies, is because I think it's more than just virginity. I think it has something to do with the act of intimacy
But
in
I'm saying,
general.
slowly you've built some,
But I'm
hopefully,
saying
by
when
that
you go,
point.
hey, tonight was just a kiss, I think there's a chance that there is a physical reaction to simply a kiss. Possibly. We don't know this person.
Sure.
But there's a potential where that person's like, I've never even kissed somebody. I don't know that we're sitting here saying that because this person's like, well, I've never had the opportunity. They might be sitting here going, it's because I actually can't physically bring myself to even just do that.
And that goes back to what do you want, right? And if
Yeah.
the thing is like,
I think that's a
I
great
want to
question.
get through the trauma that's preventing me.
Yes.
Be like, okay, well, that's what we're doing first.
Yeah.
I want to be able to trust someone and feel comfortable because I shake or I lock up or I get anxiety when I'm alone with a person or sitting on a couch and I know and then I would go, okay, same thing on the other side of the coin. What do you want? Be like, I just want to make out, do oral and fuck somebody and get it over with. Then I would go.
I don't think that's the conversation.
Same.
Yeah.
But if you say that's what you
Right.
want, then I'd be like, okay, cool. When you say online dating,
Now we're giving our answers.
it needs to be Tinder, and you say I'm looking for a hookup with somebody I feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then you meet with a person and you feel comfortable and you hook up with them, and that is your story, not theirs, and you don't need to say shit. But that's if that's what you want.
Yes,
So
I think
it's
that's a
what do
great
you
point.
want?
Let me throw another version of this at you. What if the person is when in that question where they say, "How would you respond if you're in this situation?" Where you're on a date with in our case, if I'm on a date with a woman and I get told, meeting or dating a woman who's inexperienced as I am, I believe that if I were on this date, I am saying I would personally appreciate the upfront honesty because I think I might interpret the apprehension. If someone's like, oh my God, no, I really do like Rory, but I have this intimacy thing that I'm trying to overcome and I'm not telling him about it. I am going to perceive that as, let's say you're her. Fuck, I really like Daniel. But when I try to get us there to another level of even just a kiss on the cheek at the end of the night, I can feel a resistance. It makes me assume maybe this person just wants to be my friend, or you know what I mean? I mean, all of this is the natural.
You and I are both the type of people. I would go, is everything all right? Because I felt like you kind of tightened up a little bit.
That's what I mean.
We would call it out because I need to know that you're into this, and I don't want anything happening that we're not both super
But also, there might be someone who's like, also is maybe not, that's you and I going, hey, let's call out the thing.
Right.
There's other people that go, that feel the same way about intimacy, that might also have some difficulty with intimacy and go, I knew it, Daniel doesn't like me. And what they don't know is that they maybe would be fucking great for each other. It's just a matter of going, I need you to know. And like I said, this is not a first date thing. This isn't a second date thing. But if you do find yourself...
But what if at the end of the first date they try to give you a kiss?
If they try to give you... I think you have to go, I just want to take it slow, but I want you to know it doesn't mean I don't want to go out again. I'm just not ready for that step. And I think the older we get, to me, there's some people that would think the opposite of this. But the older we get, to me, that makes the most sense. To go, I'm not 20 anymore where I feel an obligation to behave a certain way on the third date.
She skipped that.
I know. But I'm saying now, at this age, I think... if you're going to go on these dates, if you're going to try to meet someone, if you're literally trying to meet someone,
want?
Like if you said, what do you want? And they said, I really want to meet someone to be with. I
want
really
a
want a
boyfriend.
partner.
I want a
life,
boyfriend.
Not even just that. They're like, I want a life partner. I want to meet the person and I have to do this to get there. I think you are doing yourself the greatest service.
Yes, in that scenario
of explailing.
I would agree because you want a partner.
This is who I am.
But if you want,
even if they say like, "Hey, I'm here to," I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe I crossed the line. I just want to give you a kiss. I felt like it was happening. You have to say exactly what you want, and I'm saying that as a man.
You also never have to kiss anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying as a man.
There's a lot of people who have kissed thousands of people who at the end of a first date don't kiss the person because they weren't fucking feeling it or they didn't want to.
But in all honesty, as men, if you as a man,
that goes for men and women.
As a man specifically, if I meet a woman and I go in for a kiss and she turns away,
don't worry about it. All good.
But I'm not necessarily out the door. If that person openly says, I don't want that yet. I want to, this is what I'm looking for. And here's the thing. That would make that matters to me because I think as men, we try to predict what is it that women fucking want? How can I look cool? How can I attract a woman? How can I have this date go perfectly? Because I'm just going to do the things. My boy said, no matter what, you get out and you open the door for her. All these things, these very chivalry type things. Like those are all great, but they are men telling other men this is what you should. No. You grab that bill right away. You're paying for that. I know this is all broad strokes of what I assume and what I was taught.
Yeah.
But none of those things, chivalrous or not, include me asking a woman, how do you want this date to go? Who do you want to be? At 42, I saw a couple parking their car and I just could tell by their physical energy. I was like, this is a first, second, or third date. I can just see it.
Tell,
and I saw their age. It was close to ours. I could just tell. And I was like, God damn it. I know now I could fucking rock a fucking date. And I know I could rock a date because I won't get scared of, is this the drink I like? Is this the food I like? Is this the person that I am?
Start digging in.
Instead,
who are you?
I would literally, even who I am now.
No, I'm saying to them.
Yes. I would sit down and go, I just want you to know, I think you're great, and I just need you to know that I'm just fucking, I have a nervousness tonight because I just don't know you yet, and I really want this to go well. That is me on every single date I've ever gone on in my life, but I've never fucking said it, although now I would say it, which is why I say at 35, play your cards the way you play your cards, but don't be afraid to be a little upfront because as men, this is why I said this, because as men, it is a huge help to us to help break us out of thinking we should just know how to dazzle you. I know that there's a lot of women who probably are like, well, just stop doing that. But you don't know how hard it is to just stop doing that when you are brought up in a world that tells you that is how you attract the woman that you are attracted to, by being confident and being big and throwing the fucking winning touchdown. I know all these things are like images in our mind, but they didn't just get placed there because the three of us men in this room put them there.
Right.
That we were raised into this world where this is how you behave on a date. Be cool, be knowing, order for her. If a woman goes, I can order for myself, just go. I would sit there and go, oh, I only did that because I always thought that's what men are supposed to do. But the moment you tell me that isn't what I'm supposed to do,
Right.
I'm going, thank you, because I don't even fucking know what you like to eat.
Right.
But if I don't order for you, I don't want to be the guy that's just like, he didn't even fucking order for me. I know the example I'm using right now,
yes.
but it makes fucking sense. It makes sense to be like, I'm willing to be comfortable in this moment, and I'm not, because I'm also on a date. So if you're on a date and you have a pretty big secret, which is that you've never been on a date, if you fucking say that to me, I'm going to go, oh, I'm fucking nervous too. Can we now not be nervous because we both are nervous?
I'm afraid that the person might go, what the fuck are you
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, 100%.
But I'm afraid of that too. But I'm saying at this age, if Daniel, you've made the foundation of this conversation is, what do you want? The next step is, how do you get what you want? And I'm just hypothetically putting out there that the want is a long-term partner.
Right.
You might be right. They might want to just straight up fuck. But let's say
kiss.
they just want a lifelong
Handhold.
partner.
Yeah.
I would say then your best bet is to fucking talk about that elephant in the fucking room and just go, this is who I am. And if I tell you now, it might mean we start off on the greatest road we've ever fucking gone on. But if I try to conceal this from you and you misread these signs as me not liking you, maybe we never find out if we were the next Fred and Ginger.
You're right.
You're listening to Pen Pals on Light Rock 98.9. We'll be right back.
The last thing I'll say is give yourself grace. I have a friend of mine who came out late in life, and they were an adult, like in their late 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
And they were like, I'm just like, I'm in my gay teens, because they hadn't matured in that way. Like, to mature means literally, maturing is literally through experience and knowledge. You mature into a hopefully a better person, right? And so you have not done any of these experiences, therefore you do not have any of the knowledge. So you are, and this is not an insult, it's just a fact, extremely immature in this realm of your life. Yeah. And so give yourself some grace for that too. My family member was like, I feel like I'm 14 at these gay bars, only at 14 I'm a 14-year-old who can get super fucking drunk and anything goes. So it's like, it's a weird thing, because you are an adult but you are still very immature. So give yourself that grace.
Also, I just want to be very clear, I've never ordered food for
No, I get your analogy.
I was raised by women. I know the deal.
Yeah. And then the last thing, and then we gotta go. But we just kind of said online dating. I know I don't think either one of us have really any experience.
I mean, if it's
that.
lasagna, I'm gonna get us both lasagna. You know, you go. It doesn't even matter anymore. You go.
So I guess it's online dating. I mean, everybody tells me that's how they're meeting people.
Do you think that's good or bad? Because you had a reaction.
No idea.
Yeah, but when we said that, you said I have a lot to say. I didn't know if it was about that specifically.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. I think I said it, but I just don't know. I mean, we've gotten letters from other pen pals who have been like, online date, I'm done, or what, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like,
it's so individual.
I don't know. You know, I'm the type of person who would rather like find a bar that has a lot of regulars and then kind of make friends with the regulars, and then sort of in a purely social, non-work, non-life way, make some new friends and see if there's anybody I'd meet. But
my final thought, I know that you're like the apprehension of saying like, I want to make sure.
Please let us know what happened. Also, I feel like we're going to get a lot of pages about this.
Your embarrassment over where you're at, and also the anxiety and depression, your own negative talk, your own personal struggles. When you said a lifetime of hangups about your weight and appearance, there isn't necessarily some easy. And you know this, there isn't some easy solution. There isn't, hey, just try this. There is so much internal mental work to do to get yourself to the position where you are past that to go, I'm fucking getting out onto the goddamn court and I'm playing the game. It is not easy to do for so many people. A lot of people have a hard time doing it. I have no game whatsoever, and I have a very outward, very boisterous personality. And I still am like, I don't know what to say to women. And that's true. If I had to go on a date right now, I truly wouldn't really know how to go hit on somebody. I don't know how to do any of that.
No, but your confidence has led you to just call out everything.
Yes, and so you hope that works. Probably, yes. Yeah. So the therapy is a big way to help yourself, I think, get to that point. And then I think Daniel makes in my final thought, I think Daniel makes the best point. What is it that you want? And then your best map is figuring out getting to that target. And I think there's many ways that you can go, but it will require one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. And I'm saying that in terms of confidence and in terms of how you perceive yourself. Fucking have your own back and fucking start loving yourself so much, and you will see the world change around you completely. I know that for a fact.
I would agree. Okay, you deserve love. You deserve sexuality if you want it. You deserve to feel comfortable and be happy. I've said this to young people in my life as they grow up, and maybe it applies to you, maybe it doesn't. You're an adult. You can decide that whatever you do, however you explore your sexuality, whenever that comes, I already said you deserve it, and I think it should be great. There are people who have been having sex for 20 years and have never had sex that makes them feel good. Some of them have never even orgasmed.
My wife.
There it is. You have the right to all of those things, and I would say do things physically and intimately that you do for the person because you like them, not because you want them to like you. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Daniel Van Kirk.
And Rory, the guy you're starting to love.
Ooh.
And we're back!
Thought you were going to whip it at me. Hope
I
everybody
tried.
had a Merry Chex Mix.
Merry Chex Mix
Merry
was
Chex
had
Mix,
by
everybody.
all.
This is kind of that, like,
This is that
space between holidays.
That feels good, but also feels so strange.
Yeah.
It's a strange week.
It is a real strange week.
Yeah.
Tuesday is Thursday, Friday is Monday. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. And
hey.
also, Christmas on a Sunday is always sort of strange.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Although it works great for New Year's Eve on Saturday.
Oh my God.
It's great.
I know. Hope everybody had a Merry Chex Mix. And what was the other one?
What are you doing for New
Happy
Year's
Honda
Eve?
Days?
You getting crazy? Do you have plans?
I never really do anything.
Should we tell people what we just did?
Oh, sure.
Daniel and I did.
But we haven't.
We haven't done it yet, but we're about to.
Yeah,
and in this context, we will have just done it.
That's true.
But do a little 2-man vacay.
Little
Vegas.
retreat. Little company retreat.
Your pen pals are going to Vegas.
We got some big plans for the next year.
We got big announcements coming up. So we went to
working on
Vegas to powwow, hang out, do coke.
Yep.
Obviously, we did coke.
Obviously, for the first time.
We're going
we did
to,
coke.
and we did.
Yep.
We're going to eat some great food, and we did, and we will.
Uh-huh.
And, more than likely lose some money, but hopefully gain money.
A little bit.
But hopefully gain knowledge and experience.
There's comics who have hit huge jackpots in Vegas, and it's always
Androwski.
so weird. Yeah, I know.
Androwski, $1
getting
million
ready to leave
on mushrooms.
Getting
or
ready
on
to
acid?
leave.
He was
I
on
think he was on
something.
mushrooms, and he played The Big Bang Theory as he was waiting to leave the hotel. And then
And he won
I know
$1
another
million.
We have another guy we know who hit for $14,000 at like 3 a.m.
Who was that?
He talked about it on W. Time. Adam Pally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he woke Gabrus
my
up by
God.
throwing stacks of money at him. Gabrus was like, "The hell?" Because he went to bed. We should have Gabrus on here, and
That's
Pally.
fucking funny.
Hey, I feel like people are going to have things to say to us about that last letter. You can snail mail it or email it at thepenpalspod@gmail.com or
Do it.
care of the Pen Pals Podcast, 5419 Hollywood Boulevard, Suite C, number 121, Los Angeles, California, 90027. If you haven't written us yet, do it, Pen Pals. You have anything to plug? Your tours, is it announced? It should be. I mean, this is the end
I'm
of
going to
the
be
year.
doing a tour this year. It's going to get
The
announced,
next
I think, in
month or two,
January.
yeah.
It's going to be coming out. Big tour for myself, but also it's been out for almost a week. Go see Babylon. It's in theaters. Came out last Friday, the 23rd. Go see that movie and enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, don't tell anybody. Don't tell me. But still tell people to go see it. Be
Right.
like, oh my God, it's so bad. You've got to see it.
Actually,
just
you
get
know
the
what?
numbers
If you
up.
didn't like it,
See
just-
it again. You
just-
were wrong.
just say to people like, "Oh my God, a guy I know is in that." That's all you have to say.
That would be the best.
Yeah, if you're like somebody brings up Babylon, even if you didn't like it, like you're something wrong. With
Honestly, freak them out and go, my pen pal is in that.
Yes. Not a lie.
Yeah, but I like that. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, no, I have a pen pal, and he's in that movie.
If you want to see one of your pen pals, you can see me every Wednesday at the Lyric Hyperion Theater. That's 7:30. Irene, too, and I have a stand-up show there. I hope you will come out to it. I'll be in Denver in April. I'm doing Sketchfest in February. DanielVanKirk.com. And if they're not there, it's because I forgot to do it. And as you see, Lissa's not even here to
Lissa's
to tell
not
me
even
if it's
fucking
done.
here, dude.
Well, she's busy, but and
No,
that's
she's
okay.
not.
I'm just saying she's not. I usually look to her at this point. And she goes, "You're good." I don't even know if I'm good. So
Look to me.
yeah, am I good? Oh! Okay, let's do this.
But I don't offer any help. Oh, God, you're bombing. You're bombing on your announcements. Boom. Here we go.
Okay,
Dear Daniel and Rory.
this is a great episode.
Dude, this is a good episode.
Well,
It's good.
just because of introductions of letters alone.
Dear Daniel and Rory. No, I like it because of the camaraderie.
Okay.
And that we can look past our names in the order. Hello, gentlemen. No offense to Rory, but I found this podcast because of Dan. Well, then you know that he likes to be called Daniel. So he gets first billing. I'm a penny and a townie. Also, I grew up and continue to live in a small town close to Rochelle. Well, Illinois close, which means less than 2 hours away.
Ooh.
My husband, what do you think it is? Guess what it is, and they're going to Patreon. They're going to write us back and tell us what it actually is. You have zero. Or do you want to finish the letter and see if there's any hints?
Let me ask you. You're gonna help me decide.
I don't know anything.
Towards Chicago or any other direction, and then I'll give my answer.
Do you think Illinois close, which means less than 2 hours away? Do you think that means just under 2 hours away?
Yes.
Rochelle to Chicago, 2 hours?
No, less.
Hour and a half?
Yeah, even with a little bit of traffic, yeah, hour and a half.
Hour and a half towards Chicago.
I feel like they would have said Chicago. I grew up and continue to live. Oh, it says small town close to Rochelle, 2 hours away. I'm gonna go LaSalle, Peru.
That's what I was going to go that same answer.
You were? As long
I
as you
have
weren't
no-
gonna go Dixon. Fuck Dixon.
I was going to throw Dixon out there.
Okay.
My husband, I'm going to go Dixon. You're
Ugh,
going.
don't.
Wait,
don't.
what do you? What? It's the only way this. I don't know any of the options. It's the only way it can be interesting if they write us and tell us the truth. I
Go
got to
s-
guess one. I can't guess what you guess. Let's see who gets it right. But you have to guess for me. That's the fucking
Go
problem.
go Geneva.
Over Dixon?
Yes.
Which direction is Geneva and which direction is Dixon?
Geneva is like towards Chicago.
Okay.
Dixon's the other way.
Ugh, Geneva.
Yeah, baby.
Also Geneva. It's just so chocolatey.
Yeah.
My husband and I have started hosting game nights again. Beyond just the joy of carefully interacting with people again, it has brought back into my life my favorite smell: cigarettes smoked in a cold garage. That is a fucking poem.
I know. Just those. Just
cigarettes
those last
smoked in a cold
6
garage.
words.
Cigarettes smoked in a cold garage. That's a poem. That is its own poem.
Yeah. It sounds so good.
Cigarettes smoked in a cold garage. Every one of us pictured sort of the same thing, but our version of it that we've experienced.
Yeah.
And you immediately were back there.
The consonants is
God, I
what makes it.
love that. That's the name of my tour, actually.
Nice.
My grandma, I try to act like I always had that. No, that's already what the tour was.
Which is
gonna
what
called.
weirded me out.
Yeah, that's why I was weirded out. And I'm going to go Dixon.
Ugh.
Then it sounds Dixon now that cigarettes are involved, right?
It's kind of, yeah.
Kinda, yeah, you're right. My grandma was one of my favorite human beings in the world. When we would visit, her garage always had a very distinct smell. It took me into my teens before I realized what that smell. It took me into my teens before I realized what that smell was. Grandma never smoked in front of us or the neighborhood, only in the garage. Oddly, I can't stand the smell of cigarette smoke on its own or on people, but the singular smell of a lone cigarette smoked in a cold garage floods me with wonderful memories and a feeling of happiness. That is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful because it's triggered by something that is disgusting.
Right. And familiar.
It's so familiar. Do you guys have any strange or unique smells that remind you of childhood? Well, obviously mine was also cigarettes in a cold garage because of my tour. Thank you both for keeping me both thought-provoked and entertained. Looking forward to a live show. Signed, your pen pal, Meagan or Megan? How would you say
I
that?
go Megan all the way.
Megan.
I've always wanted.
She, her.
This is horrible for me to say.
Oh, quick reminder. Let us know your pronouns. If you don't,
We'll
we
just
can
assume.
assume them, But also,
No, I'm saying
if you're
either
new
way.
listeners, you also got to tell us
You know
if
what?
we
I
can say your name or not.
Also say
We
I
got to
don't
remember to keep updating people on that.
on what.
Because we have new listeners
Yeah.
all the time, and we need to make sure they know if they write us, we need to know if they're okay with us saying their name or not. We keep forgetting to
If you
announce
wrote your
that.
name, we're saying it.
We're saying
If
it.
you don't indicate your pronouns, I'm assuming.
We're going to assume them.
And if you do indicate your pronouns, I might not even read what they are, and you, our other pen pals, will just have to trust that I've gone with what the person's wishes were. Okay?
All right.
Hey.
Hey, get into my car. Yes, me? Yes, you.
There's no yes, you in it.
Get into my car. Isn't that yes, you?
Hey.
You, me, us.
Get into my... We're going to get sued. We're going to
get
get sued.
into this
We're going to get
car.
sued. We're going to get sued. Okay.
That would-
Smells.
Billy Ocean sues us. That'd be great. Is that
Smells.
Billy Ocean? That's Billy Ocean.
Yeah, it's Billy Ocean. 100%.
Smells.
Smells. Do you have any
Any
strange or
smells that
unique
remind
smells
you
that
of
remind you of
childhood?
childhood?
You know what? I come across them all the time.
Yeah.
Unique, strange smells that take me back,
Yeah.
but
Take
they're
me
never
back.
like so specific. But I'll give you one that I experienced. This is a while back, but it was so powerful. Roller skating rinks. Went to a roller skating rink for Dimitri Martin's wife, Rachel, her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
This is before COVID. I don't even know how many years before, maybe 1 or 2 before. And it took me back to all of those roller skating parties that we used to have for birthdays that kids would have, that carpet and the carpet how it was on like the half wall surrounding the rink. And it took me back to the tacky but beautiful 80s graphics that were the carpet, you know, it all looked like a Saved by the Bell album.
Yeah.
That particular smell, and I don't know what it is, but oh my God, if it was a candle, I'd buy it right now. That smell is one that, and it's the shitty pizza.
Yep.
And the bowling alleys are similar in a lot of ways. That same kind of space. I don't know, maybe it's that massive amount of like wood that is just getting tortured by skates and bowling balls. I don't know. But that takes me back to so many moments that
The
I
smell
forget.
of an outdoor concession stand in the summer. And there's just, it's grilled cheese. And like so much butter and oil like on that. That just, or like when
I think that's what people like about baseball games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Or when you're walking by any sort of street fair and somebody's doing some sort of like barbecue or something that you smell with
Even
the
the
combination
sound,
of
the
the funnel
sizzle.
cakes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, growing up in Greenville, do you guys burn leaves? Is
did.
raking and burning leaves a big thing in the fall?
Yeah,
Do you
remember
have
we've
to-
talked about this.
I don't remember.
You remember talking about this and how we told you that's bad for the environment?
Oh yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
And I was like, this
We
is
did.
the one thing I might go
Yeah.
QAnon on.
Yeah.
when I go.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. I think that was your response. We
I don't
did.
know
My
that-
dad used to burn leaves, and there was something so fucking Hoosiers about it. That like gray overcast.
Even the smell of a pile of leaves. I've
Yeah.
jumped in them so much I can
Yeah.
sense memory
Yeah.
right now. Like
Yeah.
what it's kind of dewy.
I
and-
won't lie and I think it was my dad. I can't remember who brought this to my attention about it being bad for the environment. 'Cause
Your dad
used to-
told you this?
Well, my dad used to do it, and I
These
think
lives
he,
have reached everywhere.
I think he stopped for that reason. I think I maybe had said something about it.
Man. Are you going to tell me campfires are bad?
This is why. As I got older, when I got in trouble, I had to go. We had so many leaves on our property.
Yeah.
We had so many fucking trees. I mean, leaves were everywhere.
Yeah.
It kills me this day. I can't handle it. But I would get in trouble, and I would have to go rake leaves. You'd have to put them into a trash can, then take the trash can and dump them
it.
over the fence.
Yeah.
And so I think at some point I had said, why can't I just rake them into piles and we just light them on fire? And I think it was my dad that was like, that they found out that's bad for the environment. And I remember being upset for 2 reasons. One, this would make my fucking punishment so much fucking easier, and it'd kind of be
and
fun.
You get to play with fire.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
But 2, it was this sort of having to go, oh, but I love that smell. Like I remember feeling that way. This detachment that suddenly occurred of like, oh, but that sucks, because that smell is like wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful smell. It has a similar, because of fire, but it's why a fireplace feels good.
Are
It
you-
isn't just
is
the
that
heat.
bad?
It isn't just the sound.
Is a campfire bad?
No, I don't think so. I think burning wood is fine. I couldn't tell you. Do I look at me?
Hey,
Look at me.
we're never gonna find
Look
out.
at me.
And if someone tries to tell me otherwise, I'm gonna run away.
That campfires are bad?
Is that it?
I don't think that's ever going to. I think we'd know by now. I think we'd know.
Well, a year ago, I thought I knew everything about burning leaves.
Everything.
No, but
All the tricks and stuff. You thought you knew all that too.
do you know a smell
Trick.
that isn't good that I like?
What?
I like going into a bar. These tend to be your older bars in Chicago.
Yeah.
And college town bars.
Yeah.
And that next day it's empty. You're there whether you're working, which I
Yeah.
used to be a lot, or you're there and you're there early, like it's still
What if
there.
it's going where I think it's going?
And you can smell. It just smells like spilled alcohol. Like
Yeah.
the bar just has like a smell in it, and I like it for two reasons. One, because it kind of says so many good times have been had in here.
Yeah.
And later on, this place is going to be full, and no one's going to be able to smell that smell, and they don't
Yeah.
even know that that's part of the bar and that they're contributing to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's weird,
Yeah.
but you walk into some of those bars and you're like, oh, this bar's been around a long time.
Right.
It's almost like a fermented. It's just spilled alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like
It's in the wood.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a combination of all the fucking cleaning chemicals
that too.
mixed with alcohol.
Yeah.
Mixed with whatever smells coming out of the bathroom.
Yes.
You know, it's so funny in the documentary, Seinfeld documentary, Comedian,
Mm-hmm.
when he's going downstairs and he says, like, the smell of a comedy club. He goes, I don't know what that is. He goes, but it's so, like, distinguishable. It's
Yeah, it
so,
really
like,
is.
he goes, it's all of them. He goes,
Mhm.
and I don't know why or what it even is.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first saw that, I didn't think anything of it because I had no experience with it. But over time, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Specifically, comedy clubs that you have to go downstairs to get into,
Yeah.
which they don't all have to be that way, but those are, in my opinions, the better
Yes,
ones.
yeah.
A lot of them that I've had to go upstairs do not tend to go well
I
for
agree.
me.
It
And there
loses
is,
something.
and even if you said the
don't
crowd
know.
is hot,
I'm
I
with
would
you.
go, but on the wavelengths and the energies that we can't see or
Should
understand,
have talked about this with Todd.
I
We
don't
would've lost the
exist in
show.
that. He would have taken. He'd still be here.
Yeah.
We'd be doing. This would be our anagrams or whatever the enneagrams. This is our
yeah.
enneagrams run.
But you're so right.
There's something about going down
Uh-huh.
into. It's why I think, and you don't have to necessarily go down, but there's something about going down into a club. If I'm going to go see jazz, and the entrance is in an alleyway, I don't even care what it looks like when we get
If I'm
inside.
gonna go see jazz,
There's no way it doesn't
If
work
I'm going
out.
to go see jazz, I want my eyes to need to adjust when I walk in.
Yes. Yes.
100%.
You go, fuck, it's dark in here. And like, it won't. Give it a minute.
Give it a minute.
Stand over here. Give
Yeah,
it a minute.
there was a
then go
restaurant
get a
here that's
drink.
gone now. I think it was called Dear John's or Dear John's, and you could not fucking see. You couldn't see who was at the other table.
That's what Todd. This is when Todd shined.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what else? You could get this in your life because you guys have one. The smell of your skin later in the day after being in a pool in the summer
Yeah.
is a big one. The cabin, I couldn't experience it to you, and I might keep it close to the vest if I even could. But there's a certain smell to that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. We got to run.
Getting out of the lake too, though.
Same.
There's a, and that's more of a
Can I ask
natural.
you a
lake.
non-smell question?
Yeah.
Before we go, have you seen the thing?
I was no longer a sophomore. I lost my virginity when I was 20 years old.
Have you
I'm
seen?
so hung up on it.
Have you seen the thing or heard about the thing where you could look at anything in this room right now and know what it would feel like to touch it with your tongue? Rory, look at anything you want. You could look at me. You could look at anything and picture your tongue on it, and you know exactly what it's gonna feel like.
I do. Should I not?
No, it's normal.
That's what we should.
You
be
know
able
what
to do.
this?
Yeah.
You know what that light?
Yeah.
You could the screen on the monitor.
I'm trying to look for one
The
that would
brick?
kind of surprise
the brick. No, you look at it and you already know what it's gonna
me. I know.
taste
I'm
like.
trying to find one where I go, I bet that's not. I'm. All of them are adding up in my head. I go, I bet that's right. I'm looking for the one where
You
I go,
are.
I bet
It isn't
that's
even a
wrong.
bet. You know it.
What?
It isn't even a bet. I bet you know exactly what this is gonna feel like.
I know,
on
I'm
your
looking
tongue.
for the one where I'm trying to
You're
go.
good.
I
You're
bet
on-
I get
it's not
that
gonna
one
happen.
wrong.
It's not gonna happen.
I think there's some in here.
It's not gonna happen.
That little metal thing right
You
there.
know exactly what
I don't know. I don't know what it tastes like.
You do too. You
don't know.
yes, you do. It's
Where did this question come? You got to stop drinking Snapple.
get us out of here.
This is great.
Yeah, I know.
You don't think about letters much, do you? You know what I mean? You don't think about not letters, smells much. You don't think about like,
which is also probably a reason why they hit you so hard when you experience one.
Like
I
when
had
someone
some
said, "What's your
recently,
favorite food?" That happened early on in our show.
Yes.
What's your favorite food? And we went off.
Right.
This is that question. It's just a smell, and it's like, oh yeah, we haven't really.
I had something where I can't remember even where I was, but I know still what it reminded me of. The smell was when you put on your shoulder pads to play football in high school.
That sweat,
the
dry
smell
sweat.
of putting those on, and when it's like getting it off and getting it on. That's exact. I can't even remember now where I was that reminded me of that, but I still know that smell. So I know what those practice jerseys smelled like. I know what the pads smelled
for me,
like.
grass and soccer. Yeah, playing soccer. The smell. Like if I went to play soccer right now, and it was like the right time of day in the afternoon, like just that grass, the way it smells and hits you, it's pretty profound. Yeah. How like pungent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meagan, this is a great letter. Thank you so much. You are a poet, and you don't know it, but now you do. We wish you well. Sincerely, your pen pals, Rory Scovel
and Daniel Van Kirk.